Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Earl. Great to see you as always.
Yes, sir. Long time no see. I know we kind of been on a hiatus for a little while, right?
That's right. I'm sure we got lots of exciting stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah, definitely a few interesting pieces that people should definitely want to tune into.
Yeah, how's the market been doing the last few weeks?
The market has been extremely competitive with lack of inventory as usual. But one thing that we have seen some increases in inventory, which we'll touch on a little bit later, in regards to, and we'll talk a little bit about days on market, things of that nature, as well. But what we could use most of is those affordable houses, or affordable homes, in that price range around the 350 to 400 price range.
And hey, saying 350 to 400 is affordable, that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's really the reality of where the market is these days.
It definitely is, because I think the national median price is like 440.
Yeah. Folks, at least folks I heard a few years ago were saying, oh my goodness, the whole housing market's going to collapse. Prices are going to collapse.
Yes, that's my favorite part of today's show, matter of fact, because like you said, everyone was predicting this doom and gloom. Matter of fact, I think 37% of the American public thought in December in 2023 the housing market would decline. Wow. Which happened not at all. Prices did not go down. If anything, prices continue to appreciate. So if you missed the perfect buying window and missed on a chance of gaining some extra profit or extra equity in your home, there's still time, but you can't make up for, some of that bad information that was passed along back at the end of last year.
Yeah, man, it's basic supply and demand. There's a lot more people out there that need housing than is available, and that puts on pricing pressure. I was on a call, I don't know, a couple months ago when they were talking about the same thing, and they were playing clips of the housing experts on the news like 4 or 5 years ago that were like, oh, house prices are so inflated. They're going to fall, which that's what people put on the news because it catches attention. And If people listened, they would have lost 40% in equity gains over the last few years. So
at least.
Yeah, at least. So all of these experts that keep getting on and say, oh, house prices are peaking, house prices are coming down. Real estate doesn't go down. Historically, there was one little blip around 2006, 8-ish that that things did come down, but that was so temporary. Otherwise, no matter what everything else does, real estate goes up.
Absolutely. And that's why I always tell people, don't put too much invested into that nightly news, because they're speaking usually way behind time or totally off to the left of actually what's going on. The best way is to connect with a real estate professional like myself or mortgage professional like yourself. That's where you're able to get your best up-to-date local information that pertains to your current and local market.
So if I'm a house hunter right now, like, what advice do you have? Like, if I want to go out and find something, what are you telling your folks?
In regards to my buyers, I'm telling them, hey, let's locate the home that works for you and your situation, you and your family, the best. Don't focus too much on the interest rate, because I hear a lot of people focus on that interest rate situation. Interest rates will get better, eventually. The biggest thing is finding the home that you want. And if you really want it and you really need it, go for it. Don't kind of teeter-totter that fence where you're kind of like, I want it, I don't want it. Either, no, either way. Either you don't, it works for you, or it doesn't work for you, or either it does work for you. And then let's go for it. But we have to be competitive, because it's multiple offers. They're back. The big elephant in the room, the ugly monster of multiple offers, is back in full swing. Most properties are going to have a minimum of 4 to 5 offers. That's a minimum.
Wow.
I've been in battles upwards of 15 to 20 offers, and still lost. So, wow. It's no magic pill. I can't say I got the Midas touch on every deal, because for sellers, they have different situations as well. It may not always be about that top price. They may need to rent the place back for a lot longer than your buyer is able to do. So it's just different aspects that depends on who actually lands that final ratified contract in buying. But don't give up. Keep hope alive. Stay focused. Stay driven. Keep great professionals around you with the best local information, and that way you can almost guarantee your success.
Absolutely. No, that's great advice. Don't lose faith. I tell folks that all the time. The right home is out there for you. If you didn't win this one, guess what? You're going to find the house that's meant for you. Happened to my wife and I. We made some offers. We struggled. And at the end of the day, we're glad we missed out on some houses, because the one we actually got, we could not love any more than we do.
And that's a good point too, because people just like yourself find those gems, that you may not have originally had was your first choice, but once you were able to get everything worked out and get the details, actually got into the property, you said, hey, this is where I was meant to be. This was the one that was for me,
Absolutely. Yeah. And our home's a little unique. So I think the one we did end up with didn't get a lot of attention, because we're in Windsor Forest here in Williamsburg. And it's kind of a neighborhood that probably mostly was put up with custom homes in the 80s. So this was a contemporary home built on a smaller wooded lot. So it was built like tall and skinny, and it looks a little unique. But oh my goodness, we love this house so much. So yeah, don't discount something just because it doesn't fit into the cookie cutter box that you thought would be what you want. And also don't discount it because it's not perfect, because you can make the home perfect. You can do a purchase plus renovation mortgage to add a bedroom, add a bathroom, to make it the house you want. So keep an open mind.
Yes, that's excellent advice. I just got to sound on that again. And I always tell people, keep your eyes open for the opportunity, because a lot of people get stuck on, I want to move into a home that's completely the way I want it right now. And if it's not, then they kind of lose interest or want to go on to the next one. But it's so much opportunity still there from homes that get overlooked because they may not have the counters they want right now, or they may not have the floors that they want right now. But if you look at the actual numbers, the meat and potatoes of things, you can see this house actually has equity built in. I actually may not have to pay closing costs. It may work out best for you overall in the long run versus just a short-term gain.
Yeah, that's great advice. So yeah, keep the faith, keep an open mind, and the house that's meant for you will be there for you.
Absolutely. And just to touch on some local news, right now in our current greater area of Hampton Roads, days on market is down to about 10 days overall. And like we were talking about earlier, median price point for the greater Hampton Roads area is right around $330,000.
Wow.
Which is definitely has risen over the years. Active listings, we currently have about 2,100 active listings. As of this time right now, only being, day 5 of June, we have 305 new listings. And to date, just speaking some historical numbers here, last month in May, we added over 2,000 new listings to the market. And that was up about 175 plus from April. So inventory is growing, but sales are happening a lot faster. So it's a teak for tot type of situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And as inventory grows, more people are going to come into the market who have been on the sidelines.
Yes, I'm hearing that echoed from all levels. I mean, I was reading something this weekend where they were saying, hey, when those rates do get back to the 5.5, when they do get back to maybe the 5.25 at some point, it's going to be so many buyers in the market that if you think it's tough now, just wait.
Exactly. Although I actually did hear something, there was a survey of home owners, and the lack of inventory is just people aren't selling. When the rates break through that mid to lower 5s mark, there's a lot of home owners that are thinking they might get off the fence. They don't want to buy and sacrifice their pandemic rate for a higher rate. But that's kind of the magic number where a lot of homeowners are thinking, okay, maybe I'll go ahead and list and sell. So I think rates in the low to mid 5s are going to be good for the market, good for everybody. get a lot of people motivated to buy and sell. It's still going to be busy. It's still going to be aggressive. But I think it's just going to be a much more active market once we get there. And who knows when that's going to happen? The mortgage rate experts, those of us who study it, we've been really wrong over the last several months. We've been expecting rates to come down before now, but it's really just about inflation. Inflation isn't coming down as expected. So all of the financial experts are really just doing their best to make some guesses right now, but nothing is really following expectations.
That is absolutely right. Because usually our spring market and our early summer market, which we're in right now, is usually bustling with activity, buy and sell transactions, homeowners listing their homes. I think we're going to kind of get away from that over the course of the next year, where what was known previously as slower times historically, late fall into winter, I think those are going to kind of be more balanced months, because as we see those interest rates improve, like you spoke of, at some point, I think things will turn up, just in time for when people need to make it. So don't stop your home shopping, or don't stop your ambitions of wanting to buy a home, as the fall rolls in, as you get toward the end of the year, because that's where you may find your best value.
Yep. And if you buy now, you can always refinance later.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool, man. Well, hey, it was great catching up again. Sounds like it's an exciting market as always, and more important than ever to have good local professionals on your side.
Absolutely, Kevin. Always a pleasure, my man. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
You too.